mean, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't like him, but it's like, if we need an American to win, don't we just send the guy that always wins?
Yeah, no, he's going.
And he said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And nobody tries harder than me. Are you sure John Jones doesn't try a little harder than I do?
You versus Islam on the White House card would be insane. Would you want to fight at the White House, or?
Why not? I would love to fight in front of the United States of America.
Yeah.
I would love it.
He and I have been talking nonstop, and he's like, I'm dead serious. I want this. You know, I'm training. I'm back in the pool. I'm doing all the shit. So we'll see. As we still got a long way to go.
You know, I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one. But Trump and the administration.
Ilya versus Islam is. So does an Ilya versus Islam, champ versus champ, trump Conor versus anybody?
Ilia Topuria has stunned the MMA world with one fearless claim. In a fiery post online, he suggested he might headline the first ever UFC White House card, daring everyone to bet against it. The boldness of that statement instantly set off waves of debate, and in a matter of minutes, fans and fighters couldn't stop talking about what this historic card might look like.
Question for DC.
Yes, sir.
I saw John Jones, it's back in the testing pool.
Yes.
Talking about going on the White House card.
Yes.
I think with his extensive criminal record, the Secret Service will let him on the White House grounds.
That's such a good question.
That's actually a good question. Well, we always have to pass background checks when Trump's there, and he got the fight, so I'd imagine he will be. And I gotta be honest with you. All right, so listen. All right. No disrespect to anyone here. I love you guys so much. You can go to the White House, and I'm positive you'll win, right? But if we really need an American to win, right, gotta kind of send John Jones, don't we? I mean, seriously.
The White House UFC event has already started producing drama before a single punch has been thrown. From dream fights being teased to shocking demands from fighters, it feels less like a typical fight night and more like a once-in-history spectacle where politics, power, and cage fighting all meet on the same lawn.
Give us 3 of the fights that you want to see at the White House lawn.
If we could pick whatever, Conor versus Ilya would be the top one. Izzy versus Strickland 2, like to see that. I think that'd be a banger up there. Jones versus Aspinall is the one everyone wants to see. Me versus Marab 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Meanwhile, Topuria's recent tweet wasn't just coincidence, it was strategy. For years, he's been chasing a fight with Islam Makhachev, but weight divisions made it seem nearly impossible. Yet, the White House event has created the perfect storm. If ever there was a stage for a super fight that defies logic, this is it. In the tweet, he's not confirming the headline at the UFC main card, but also challenging everyone to bet on him. The buzz only grew when Topuria joined the Nailed Boys for a live stream. Kyle Forager painted the picture everyone wanted to see. Topuria versus Makhachev on the White House lawn. Topuria didn't blink. With a grin, he said he would love to fight in front of the United States of America, leaving the door wide open for the spectacle fans are craving. The idea instantly lit up the MMA community, with conversations spreading worldwide.
You versus Islam on the White House card would be insane. Would you want to fight at the White House, or?
Why not? I would love to fight in front of the United States of America.
Yeah.
I would love it. We'll see what's
But it's
gonna
a year
happen.
away, right?
It's a year away.
That could be perfect timing for you in Islam, though.
But the question of weight couldn't be ignored. Forager asked if it would happen at lightweight or higher, and Topuria's answer revealed his struggle. Cutting to 145 pounds, he admitted, had been pure hell. The pain of that process drained him, both physically and mentally, but at 155 pounds, everything feels different. The pressure is gone, the training feels lighter, and he's happier than he has ever been. For Topuria, the light division has been a breath of fresh air, allowing him to perform with freedom instead of misery.
What weight would that go down at now, though?
Like, what do you mean? When
Like
it
what
could
weight?
happen?
What weight class? Yeah.
I don't care with him.
He couldn't come back down to 155.
Once you try to go up, you never want to come back.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's hell, right?
it's hell.
Yeah.
It's hell. I had to go through hell when I was cutting the weight in 145, and now that I decide to stay in 155, it's like 2 different worlds. I have been able to enjoy the whole process. I've been more happier.
That confidence adds to the drama surrounding the White House card, which has already become the most ambitious card Dana White has ever teased. Earlier this year, US President Donald Trump, who is a longtime friend of Dana, announced he wanted a UFC fight at the White House to mark America's 250th Independence Day celebration.
We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little... We're not. Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. Going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events, but the UFC fight's going to be a big deal too. And
the idea was bold, even outrageous, but White embraced it with open arms, promising fans that the card would be the most stacked in UFC history. Dana's words were crystal clear: this will be the baddest card of all time. With that single declaration, speculation erupted and fighters began throwing their names in the mix.
So it's happening. It's like actually 100% happening.
Absolutely happening.
How do you decide the headliner?
You know, what I want to do is build, you know, the best card that we've ever built that just make people go crazy. It'll be live and free on CBS.
Free?
From the White House. Yeah.
Wow.
For the people.
Yeah.
Oh, this might be like one of the most viewed fights of all time then, in that case.
I mean, even people in other countries will want to see. And the way that we're doing this thing, like, let's say this is goofy, but this is the octagon, right? We're building this arch, almost like the St. Louis arch, like this.
At the center of it all, Conor McGregor made his return to the headlines. After briefly trying his hand in politics with a failed presidential bid, McGregor has turned his full attention back to the octagon. And naturally, he wants his comeback to take place on the White House stage. His return, though, came with demands only McGregor could think of.
Jon Jones, since, you know, retiring and then coming back, has made it clear I want to do this, and you know, he sent me a text apologizing and all that stuff, but I need people that I can seriously rely on for this one. You know, people talk shit about Conor. I'm telling you, I've been in the fucking trenches with Conor. Conor is a guy that has fought injured. Conor is a guy that a fighter has fallen out and we slid in a stylistically bad matchup for him. He doesn't care. He literally will fight anybody.
On social media, the Irish superstar declared he wanted $100 million to fight at the White House. As if that wasn't enough, he also asked for 100 golden visas for himself, his family, and his friends. He wrote on X, $100 million to fight at the White House along with 100 US golden visas for myself and family and friends. I look very forward to entertaining the fighting world once again, a pleasure I never take for granted. These weren't typical UFC negotiations, as McGregor boldly stated he wasn't negotiating with Dana White this time, he was negotiating with the United States of America itself. For McGregor, the stage is to match the spectacle and nothing less than the White House will do. For him, this isn't just another fight, it's the chance to once again entertain the world on the biggest stage imaginable.
You know, I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one, but Trump and the administration have been fully supportive and backing, and I cannot wait to put on the show.
But McGregor isn't the only star circling this historic card. Rumors are swirling that Jon Jones may also be added to the lineup, possibly facing Tom Aspinall. Khamzat Chimaev has hinted at his willingness to appear as well. The White House lawn is being imagined not just as a fight venue, but as a festival of violence featuring the UFC's biggest names, all in one night.
The White House card next year.
Bro, look at my face. I don't think so. They let me come over there, bro.
It's been several years. How do you feel about getting the title shot now in this moment in your life personally?
I don't think so much about the belt. I have a couple of millions coming after the fight on my bank account. That's the important thing. So I want to fight, beat that guy. You know, that's the important for me.
You said in recent interviews before your last fight how much now it's really important to you to be a good father. When you talk about, you know, maybe one day sharing, you know, videos showing your son your career, what do you think about, like, when you first show you fighting or your interviews?
While fans dream about McGregor and Jones, Chael Sonnen has been pushing a different angle. The former fighter turned analyst believes the real main event might not include McGregor or Jones at all.
We're openly saying if we're going to put Conor on there that there's no title unless you believe that Conor McGregor is going to demote himself. Your biggest star, regardless of belt, should be the main event. But in this case, if our biggest draw and our biggest star is not a champion or a contender, our biggest show will not contain a title, which makes it a little difficult down the road to go, this show's bigger than big. In fact, we got 2 titles up and nothing more important than a title fight. Not to mention, to book a card this far in advance is weird. If John Jones wanted to make nice with the company, there's a number of things that John can do. Nothing would trump John getting there and fighting. I won on the White House card, so I'm willing to fight in Vancouver in February. I'll work my way up. I'll prove that I'm the #1 contender.
Instead, Sonnen sees Ilia Topuria against Islam Makhachev as the true headliner. In his words, it's champ versus champ, a fight so massive it could overshadow anything McGregor brings to the table. He's suggested that fans constantly talk about how big this matchup would be and that it deserves the White House spotlight above all else.
We're openly saying if we're going to put Conor on there that there's no title unless you believe that Conor McGregor is going to demote himself. Your biggest star, regardless of belt, should be the main event. But in this case, if our biggest draw and our biggest star is not a champion or a contender, our biggest show will not contain a title, which makes it a little difficult down the road to go, this show's bigger than big. In fact, we got 2 titles up and nothing more important than a title fight. Not to mention, to book a card this far in advance is weird. If John Jones wanted to make nice with the company, there's a number of things that John can do. Nothing would trump John getting there and fighting. I won on the White House card, so I'm willing to fight in Vancouver in February. I'll work my way up. I'll prove that I'm the #1 contender.
Dana White, never shy about stirring excitement, has given the idea even more credibility. He admitted that if Makhachev manages to capture another belt at welterweight, the door would open immediately for a super fight with Topuria. Double champion versus double champion on the most historic stage the sport has ever seen. It's the kind of fight that could redefine legacies in an instant.
Another massive fight would be Ilia versus Islam too.
Of course.
Yeah.
But Salim is obsessed with that fight.
Oh, really?
He's obsessed with it. And I tell him, I'm like, but they both got to win more fights in their division first, right? That's kind of how you do it, right? When it's like they both run through their division and then it's like you're in the position where it's like, I got to make this. That's what happened with Volk Islam, right?
Well, the other thing is too is that Islam moves up, and obviously if Islam won the title, you know, you immediately have a super fight with him and Ilia. So
could that be if Islam gets one victory? Could that potentially happen?
You have to see. It's one thing to sit around. This is what the media always tries to do, sit around and talk about these fights before they happen, or, you know, hypothetically speaking. I don't like hypothetical. These are options that we have if things play out that way, but you never know what's going to happen.
Brendan Schwab, another analyst, added his own take on the entire event. For him, the UFC White House card is something that should be celebrated no matter what political lens people try to put on it. He revealed that he knew about the plans months in advance, and he described it as one of the most incredible steps forward for the sport. To him, it doesn't matter who the president is, Trump, Harris, or anyone else. The fact that fighters will step onto the White House grounds to compete shows how far MMA has come.
Everyone wants to fight on that card. At the White House? That's insane. Now, if you make it political, like, oh God, the UFC's so tied in with Trump, just take all that out of it, whoever you voted for. This is how far the UFC's come. The UFC is fighting at the White House. That's insane. That should be celebrated. But if you did Tom, John, that's your headliner. That's selling fucking
hell yeah
cakes, right? You got Tom, John, Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. So you got American, you got Big American, you got Bo Nickel, you got Colby Covington, you got Justin Gaethje. Yeah, Strickland all day. Strickland was built for this fucking thing. You have Strickland Izzy on there.
Schwab also laid out potential matchups for McGregor if he headlines. He pointed to Nate Diaz as one option, Michael Chandler as another, and even Paddy Pimblett as a third. Chandler in particular, he said, would be perfect for the card because of how American he is, making him a natural fit for a 4th of July showdown.
Travis Brown hasn't been training or fighting at least since, you know, but if the rematch was at the White House with him, because you've been actually like working out like
two guys who haven't fought in 10 years.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Who do you think is going to be on that card?
There's going to be some big names. I think it's going to be Conor or John. Really? It's one of those two. I think so.
You think Conor McGregor?
Yep. It's one of those two. I think they'll do all out. I think they're going to throw caution in the wind. Our taxes are paying for the lineup. So I think you could see John, Francis. I think you're gonna get something crazy. John Francis, John Alex Pereira, John Aspinall. You can see something like that. Wow. Or you get Conor, Nate, Chandler. Chandler's gonna be on that card.
The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this event so fascinating. The lineup could easily feature McGregor versus Chandler, Jones versus Aspinall, Chimaev against another top contender, and Topuria versus Makhachev. It would be the kind of card that MMA fans could only dream of, and Dana White is promising to make it a reality.
He's as American as they get, and he loves Trump. I assume Chandler. So you do Conor Chandler, Conor Nate, Conor Patty Pimlet.
Conor Patty Pimlet. Oh my God. That would be insane.
For Topuria, this event represents the chance of a lifetime. To headline on the White House lawn against a fighter like Makhachev would be career-defining, an opportunity to cement his place among the sport's legends. For Makhachev, the stakes are just as high. Another belt would place him in rare company, and defeating an undefeated star like Topuria would push him further into the conversation of all-time greats.
Event next year. Ilya versus Conor. Fuck it. You want a big fight?
That would be fun.
Conor, I don't think that has the great streak right now as far as like this last 5.
No, well, because
if you want a main event, but they're not American. Yeah. But does it matter?
At that point, Conor feels American, dude. Like
Conor's American.
He does. No, not his voice, but just like he's just all of his. He owns all this shit. And he's always on everything. Yeah. But he's kind of annoying me, like with the
Conor.
Yeah, just I mean.
Do you want to see that fight?
I know he
like
cares,
a catch weight though.
It would be. I think Ilya could. You never count Conor out.
Ilya's beast.
Ilya is pound for pound the greatest fighter to ever walk this earth. Greatest fighter pound for pound ever.
No matter how it's structured, the UFC White House card will have the world watching. Millions of fans from across the globe will tune in, knowing this is more than just another UFC event. It's a symbol of how far MMA has come, from underground fights to the most powerful stage in the world.
Where do you feel you stand? I know you made it clear you wanted a title shot. Are you confident that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, that's the fight that I want. Obviously I'm biased. I'm going to fight for what I feel like I deserve. But he feels the same. She feels the same. We're all biased towards ourselves. It's me or Armin. I believe somebody has to fight him this year. And I think I'm in a better spot than Armin. So someone's going to fight him. I hope it's MSG, New York City. I get to fight him and then I get to defend it on the White House lawn. That's what I'm planning for.
And the best part, the drama has already begun. Topuria's bold challenges, McGregor's outrageous demands, Sonnen's game-changing predictions, Dana's promises, and Schwab's celebration of the event have already set the stage. The fights haven't even been booked, but the hype is already unmatched.
So we're going to be here on the White House lawn.
Top of mind for White, a fight card next summer.
So the fighters will walk out of the Oval Office to come to the Octagon.
The same man who once offered White a casino for staging the UFC now has offered his backyard.
What can you tell me about the card?
Everybody wants to fight on the card.
There's going to be a fight on the south lawn of the White House, weigh-ins at the Lincoln Memorial. I still can't believe I'm saying those words. Even an optimist like you.
I can't believe I'm hearing them.
As it stands, this card isn't just about championships, it's about history, legacy, and the blending of sports and politics in a way no one has ever seen before. And when the UFC finally brings the cage to the White House lawn, the world will witness a fight night unlike anything in history. And if you're just as hyped for this card as we are, make sure to like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Ring Rivalry for more breaking fight news and epic fight stories. Your support keeps us bringing you the biggest updates from the fight game.